Genho has worked with some of the largest cattle operations in the world. Now a visiting professor at the University of Florida and an independent consultant, Paul spoke on UNL's East Campus recently about some of the changes in agriculture and the U.S. beef industry over the past 50 years. His background includes managing the 300,000-acre Deseret Ranch in Florida and the now 825,000-acre King Ranch in Texas. We spoke with him about the current downturn in the farm economy, water sustainability, and the current demographics of farmers and ranchers across the country.
What I've done is I kind of look back 50 years and now I'm looking forward 50 years. Well, 50 years ago, the average rancher was 51 years old, farmer rancher. And today, in the 2012 census, he was 58.3. So we have this aging rancher, and some of those properties are going to their children, but most of them, they're turning that into retirement capital, and then they don't have heirs, or the heirs aren't interested. And so those operations are either going away or being consolidated into bigger ones.
Why is that an issue?
Well, it's an issue because the reality is that the structure is going to change in ranching in the future. Today we have somewhere around 780 operations. 30, 40 years ago we had 900,000. We will have 600,000. And a lot of these small operations, 50-cow ones, will go away. And there will be more big operations. And so the capacity for someone like you to get into agriculture, the cost of entry is 5 million, 6 million, 10 million, and that's virtually impossible. So either, if you're going to be a rancher, you're either going to become a professional manager and work for someone, or you're going to lease the land, not own land. And that's very different than what we looked forward 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Do you think that problem is solvable, or is that just the way it is?
That's a demographic thing that's going to happen. So when I was in college, the average disposable income for food was 21%. Today it is somewhere around 7%. So we're not going to go back to spending 21% of our income on food. And so these highly efficient operations will continue to become more prevalent. And some of the smaller, less efficient ones will continue to go away. That's just going to happen. But it creates opportunities, for example, for young people who want to be professional managers. They go get the education, get the training, and prepare themselves to do that. And so we've ever challenged opportunities.
As you know, in this state, we have an aquifer underneath that provides us with an adequate water source, but certainly that's not the case across the country and across the world. Yeah. What role does water and sustainable water play in the future?
So the United Nations says we're going to virtually have to double food production over the next 30 years or so. And we cannot double food production without more water, because there's so much good, viable, arable land. You know, this nation is blessed. We have 21% of the mollisols, the best soils in the world. We have 21% of them in the United States. And we have 6% of the population. And so we're one of the breadbaskets of the world. And so we cannot hope to grow food on every acre of ground in this world, because soils are not all equal. So where we have the best soils, we're going to need to grow more food. And that's going to mean more water. And so what's happening, we have decaying water infrastructure, dams and that. We have no national commitment to create anything. We don't have research going on at the level it ought to be for water-saving crops. And so we got the perfect storm coming. And we think about that in energy all the time. The energy crisis, how we're going to. But water is every bit as important as energy, because we feed the world.
You've worked with some of the largest ranches in the world.
Yeah.
In a downturn that we're seeing right now that could perhaps last more than a year, what do you think it takes to be a successful manager at any level?
So the average ranch over my lifetime, in a 10-year cycle, made a lot of money in 3 years, lost a lot of money in 3 years, and broke even in 4. I tried to make money in 4 years and lose money in 1 year, and break even in the other. And I was more successful by increasing production, controlling cost. And I was able to do that, you know. So those small differences were able to allow me to guide ranches through challenging times. So I'm not, you know, this happens every decade or so. Every time cattle prices go up, we tend to think there will never be another bad day, but there will. They'll come, and so we're right now going through those challenges for a while. But in the end, the international, you know, when we have this growing middle class worldwide. 66% of the world's middle class will be in China, Asia, in 30 years, 25 years. And when they reach middle class, what do they want? A hamburger, a handful of nuts, and a milkshake. And they don't want just rice. And so when we talk about the tremendous export opportunities of the future, beef over the long term, beef ranching, cattle ranching, has this great future because of the world market. And we're the country that can produce high quality beef. And that's very much in demand everywhere. So I have no fear of our industry. But we're going to go through these and you just learn to control cost and to keep production up. Don't do anything stupid. And you'll make it through, and the good times will come again.
Paul's presentations from his trip to Lincoln are archived online and available through links on our website. His visit was made possible by UNL's Center for Grassland Studies and the Angler Agribusiness Entrepreneurship Program in partnership with the Rural Futures Institute at the University of Nebraska.